episode 6.
OxFit podcast, episode number 6. We're rocking and rolling.
006.
What are we talking about?
We got a lot to talk about.
Coming to the end of another season.
Yes.
Okay.
Last episode, we talked a lot about seasons. The seasons we have here at OxFit, seasons of training.
Yeah.
New goals each season, and we just wrapped up OxFit fitness cycle with ACC, which was awesome. And even though it's June, we're already looking ahead to the fall.
It's fall season already.
Yeah.
We're in the middle of summer, but for us it's fall. We're coming up on the goals that we want for the end of the year.
Yeah, definitely. So for fall, OxFit usually focuses on our big endurance events. We've got triathlon.
So we start with strength.
Strength.
We got strong as hell.
Yeah.
Then we got fit.
Mm-hmm.
And then now we're going to get some endurance on the back end of that. So we're going to be able to use all that strength, all that fitness to just go a little bit further, a little bit extra distances.
Mm-hmm. Get uncomfortable.
Yeah. Get outside of that 10, 15 minute time frame, right?
Yeah. It's hard to learn it's easy to do a sprint and just feel that pain, but to be able to sit in discomfort, that's kind of what we're going for with the endurance. To just
I remember my first 3-hour triathlon. That was the first time I'd ever been in something that took that long, and I've done 3 marathons now, but the hardest thing I've ever done is the Gulf Shores Olympic triathlon. I don't know if that makes you feel better or worse about doing it.
Makes me feel nervous, ready to train, but I know it's going to hurt.
The thing that I loved the most was after I'd done the Gulf Shores triathlon, I knew I could do a marathon.
Okay, well, I've done a marathon, so should I know that I can do the triathlon?
I'm not saying you can't do it.
Yeah.
I'm not saying, but it is the hardest. That last run, after you've swum, because swimming, takes it out of you. Then you biked. Your legs are just destroyed.
And it's 1 mile swim, 25-mile bike, and then finishing with 6 miles.
6 mile run.
But it's bad.
In comparison to all them things, I feel like 6 miles on the run is way longer than the other two things. Like a 25-mile bike and a 1 mile swim, I feel like the 6 miles is like, whoa. Especially coming at the end and then it's down and back.
And it's hot.
If it was a loop, it would be way better. Yeah. But you get halfway and then you're like, gotta get back. And it's one of the only things I've ever done. Like the marathon obviously is just long and you're like, oh, I want to get to the end. But on that one is like, I just don't want to run anymore. I want to stop now. But you got to get back to the finish line.
Yeah, you have to get back somehow.
I've been in that. I've done it twice now. And just so many things in that triathlon just push you to a different level. Like you learn how to transition and stuff, but I don't do them at speed. I'm just like, let me get set up for what's next, Swimming in a little bit of jellyfish water and swimming a mile. I'd never swum a mile before I did that, And then, the run at the end, it's hot, it's flat. And you just like, I just want this to be done. But I think it's one of the things that I've done that I've been the proudest of finishing each time.
Yeah.
So
I remember going last year and being the FOMO was on another level. I have never been so mad at myself for not just doing something.
Yeah.
So since then, I knew that this year.
I remember Caitlin doing it.
Yeah.
And she was going to go and just do the sprint. And then I think I was going to message her and say, you should just do it. And she messaged me and was like, I'm going to do the Olympic. And then when she was doing it, like, I don't think I realized how she'd not ridden a bike in so long. And didn't even try riding a bike, right?
No, and I was like trying to video her and she couldn't even turn it. She couldn't make the turn.
Brutal.
She said, don't look at me. And I did. I put the camera down. I was like, don't worry, I'm not going to record that.
That's amazing. So she got off to turn around?
No, she was like going slow and she couldn't turn the bike and stay on it. It was.
And you're like, you're doing 25 miles.
Thank God there's only 4 turns in that whole thing.
Down, turn, down, back. Yeah. Go back again. Yeah. And, but it was a time when I got to see who Caitlin was as a person, right? Because the swim, there was a lot of jellyfish that year. And a lot of people didn't get back in the water to do the second loop. And she did. And then because a lot of people didn't get back into the second loop, it put us that did do the second loop quite far behind everybody else.
Yeah.
So it seemed like we were like way behind everyone else, but most people only did half of the swim.
Yeah, they cut it so short.
Yeah, which is like 25 minutes, 20 minutes for a lot of people on the swim. So they're 25 minutes ahead. So then by the time you get through the bike and then you get to the run, if you're already not a fast biker, you're quite far behind. And so like she was almost one of the last people on the run, I think.
She ran 6 miles alone, basically.
6 miles on her own. And I passed her on the way back, gave her some candy and stuff like that. And then we were waiting at the finish line, and all I could think was, I hope she doesn't quit. Like, I don't care how long it takes. I don't care if we have to stand here and wait another hour, 2 hours. Even if she walks all the way to this finish line, I hope she doesn't come back in like one of them, like, what are they called? The lifeguard things. Yeah. Like a motorized thing. I hope she's not in one of them. Because I don't know if I'll be able to look at it the same. Because we are the people that just do hard shit. Like, it doesn't matter if we walk. You're just gonna finish. And she finished, and when she came around that corner, I was like, okay, she is who I know her. I knew she was. Right. And she didn't quit, and she fucking did it. And like, it was awesome. I was so proud of her. Because I know how hard it is, and I know how she just took it on and did it. So, which is exciting. Like, that's why you were upset. Because you saw that she got to do something that was terrifying. And she absolutely crushed it, you know? And yeah, she was we talk about this a lot. Well, I swear we don't finish last at everything.
we're good at some stuff, but
we're good at not quitting.
We're good at not quitting. We are determined for some reason.
We're good at showing up unprepared.
We always dress the best.
Dress the best. Dude, if you want to see outfits, bro.
It doesn't matter where you finish. No. You look that good.
We got OxFit onesies. We got the jerseys.
Jerseys are for sale right now.
Man, we look good. And that's part of it, isn't it? Look good. Get some good photos. That's what you remember. You're not going to remember that everyone was waiting at the finish line for an extra hour. They'd packed up all the food. You're not going to remember that.
It's all right.
We remember, Caitlin.
Yeah.
We'll remind you.
Yeah. Never ridden a bike before.
Yeah, don't worry about that.
We just broke it in on a 25-mile little trek.
Yeah.
Oh, so funny. But yeah, I'm pumped. I'm excited. And I think we've got a lot of people interested in it too, since we did it last year.
I hope so, because it's such a fun weekend. It's like it finishes off the summer.
Yeah.
You get to go to the Gulf Shores, which I'm annoyed that we're taking this many people to the Gulf Shores, Alabama, because I want it to stay a secret. Because it's fucking awesome. Nice. It's 2 highways, and it's the most beautiful beach, and it's not built up, and it's like super chill. Everybody's nice, everybody's friendly, you know what I mean? It's just such a cool area. And we get to finish off the summer there because everybody's back in school and back in but it's like, oh, let's have one last little fun trip. So yeah, if you want to come and just hang out, even if you don't want to do it, I guarantee you'll sign up next year if you come and see it. Oh, yeah. Like you. At the very least, I mean, there's no reason not to do the sprint. Yeah. Which anyone can do that. Yeah. And you can do a 3-person relay. Yeah. If one of you is a good swimmer, one's a good biker, one's a good runner, come just for the fun of it. Sign up, do that, get a little workout in the morning. Then we go to bowls on the beach at night and watch the rodeo, have a bushwhacker, have a blast, ride on a mechanic bull. Yeah. Yeah, man. Leslie got messed up on that bull. Yeah, she did. It flipped her right over. Flipped right over. Yeah. We'll have to. I wish Lucas could clip in that video. I think it's on my phone somewhere. But she crushed the triathlon too. She did. Her bike broke right after after the bike part started, and she waited there, fixed it. She could have quit. Yeah, she didn't quit. I would have walked back. I think if that would have happened. If my bike. Because she was waiting 40 minutes at the side of the road. Mm-hmm. And I'd be like, well, this wasn't meant to be for me today. Mm-hmm. But she stayed in it. She finished. I remember catching up to her because of how long she waited, and she was doing the sprint. And I was like, come on, Leslie, push it. And she just took off and left me. And I didn't have an extra sprint. But and it was cool to see. But yeah, one of my favorite events of the year. That's triathlon. I'm jealous that I'm not doing it. I'll be there with the kids, doing my daddy daycare, and supporting everybody. Yeah, it's such a good goal to set for yourself for, the next few months. And Yeah.
We've got some really cool workouts coming to.
Yeah, just to get you out of the comfort zone, right? Like you're going to be going riding bikes together. You're going to be going running together,
we'll
swim together.
And even if you can't do that, I don't want people to think that I really only have time to work out, during my gym time, and I'll have time to do a ton of extra stuff. You'll still get prepared just
for a sprint for sure.
Class. Absolutely.
Yeah, for a sprint for sure. Or for I think Matt last year did aquabike. Oh no, he did.
No, he did a bike run.
Bike run.
Yes.
Which I don't know what that's called. But you can do any version. There's so many versions of the triathlon you can do. If you don't want to get in that water and swim, you can just bike and run. Mm-hmm. You can also get a team together. There's so many options there, and we're gonna be training. We've just got the bikes, we're going to do quite a little bit more running now. The weather's nicer. So yeah, get involved. Don't miss out on this opportunity to have some fun with it.
Absolutely. It'll be a blast.
Yeah.
And we've got some other really cool events that will also help us get ready for that. We always do one of the Savage races, adventure races every year. Super fun. Just a quick little Saturday trip to North Georgia to go run 5 or 7 miles and do some cool shit. And
I'm excited for that.
You're getting into some DEKA.
Yeah, we got DEKA. I mean, we'll have had the DEKA festival, I think, by the time this comes out. But yeah, I'm really excited for the DEKA stuff. The equipment's here. We're going to have the little festival to test out how it's going to work and how it's going to look. But yeah, we're getting some endurance stuff. Oh, yeah. And all the stuff we've been doing to start the year was kind of high skill.
Yeah.
Right? This is about you just coming and going into the pain cave a little bit on most of these things. Yep. So the Savage race is 5 to 7 miles. We don't often do that. It's a 40-minute workout for the DEKA for most people. And then triathlons will be 30 to 3 hours, 5 hours marathon. So yeah, just having some fun with some endurance stuff and being in that season of getting out of the gym a little bit more and getting outside. And if you're on vacation and stuff like that, you can still train for these things without having to worry about pull-up bars and weight things. So if you're out of town a lot for the next few months, definitely sign up for something like this with us because you can do the train along with us wherever you're at. There'll be a bike in the gym probably where you're at. Yeah. There'll be a place to go run. If you're at the beach, you could practice swimming in the ocean, which that would be awesome. Get up every day and be oh, instead of just go to the gym, let me just swim 20 minutes in the ocean every morning. How much better would that make your vacation?
Right.
So that's fun.
Yeah, it can be done anywhere. And it's fun to keep it creative in the gym too. And I know people transitioning from this fitness cycle to the endurance, you can just expect that time working to get bigger and that rest to keep getting shorter as the weeks go by. But we're not just going to be doing 800-meter repeats. I mean, we're going to be using the sleds. We're going to be using all these new pieces of cardio equipment. We're going to be incorporating the barbell. Endurance doesn't have to be just pounding the pavement for 45 minutes and then going home. It can still be really creative and fun.
Well, I don't believe in following a running program. Now, if you want to run a 2-hour marathon or something like that, by all means, get on a running program. Yeah. But for us, it's enjoying the training, not becoming a marathon runner, because we don't want necessarily that body type. I don't want to be 125 pounds and not able to pick up any weight, right? I want to be able to do these things and still be physically strong. Right. And every time I've done 3 marathons now, finished them all, and the most I ran was 12 miles. And a lot of people follow these marathon programs, you get really, really injured. It's a lot of pounding. It's a lot of miles. It's a lot of running. Now, to do a marathon, to do a triathlon, I don't want to do it 3 times before I've done it.
Right.
That doesn't add up to me. Doesn't make any sense. The competition that we just went to for fitness, I didn't do the events every day to practice for the competition. That would have been insane. I did all these different versions of it to get stronger at each different element. So with running, the same thing. We want to build your muscles, we want to prevent injury, and then on the day, just know that you're going to get through it.
Yeah.
And so that's what we train towards. And then giving you exposure to some swimming and excited to go to Red Top Mountain, do some open water swimming together. Even if you're not doing the marathon, come and just have fun. Learn how to swim in open water, right? so many ways to use your fitness that we're going to get to experience the next few weeks that are not just, here we are in the gym for 3 hours on a Saturday. Yeah. No, let's get out.
I don't think people realize how much what we do here translates to other things. Like you were saying, and I did the same thing before the marathon. I did 2 long runs. And other than that, I just did a lot of working out in the gym that was tailored towards just long-term zone 2 cardio.
Yeah.
And I actually had a member message me a couple days ago. You know, I check in, how's the gym going? How have you been settling in? And they're like, it's good. I'm just having a hard time trying to balance training for this marathon I'm doing this year.
Yeah.
With coming to class. I was like, well, it's really simple. If from now on, for the next few months, if you see a workout says fit, don't miss it. And if you really do want to go do an extra run, do it on a day that doesn't say an OxFit workout, because those workouts are going to get you ready for this run and still have you lifting weights and not just killing your knees and your ankles.
Yeah. Yeah, it's such a... I feel like people still don't believe it, you know, but I've seen it over and over. There's some amazing stats. Something like 80% of runners in America are injured because of the strain just pounding on that running does to you. So if you want to get to the finish line, then strength training and then a little bit of running, just knowing that you can do it, getting your joints used to it, but not overdoing it. Like knees, ankles, shins, hips, like all the way up. We had a couple of people that did marathon programs before Chicago and then they had to pull out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they didn't run.
And then us that were just doing endurance work with the strength stuff. Yeah, we finished.
We finished it, sore for a couple of days, but then you're just right back to it because there's no long-term, effect on your joints from all
and also for us, it's like we're not doing another marathon in a couple of weeks. It's like, okay, now we're going into a strength cycle again. Build all that strength back up. Then to a fitness cycle again, then to an endurance cycle. And that's the beauty of the seasons for me.
Yeah.
Like if you come and follow our seasons, if you have a race that you specifically want to do, we'd be happy to help. But we try and time things throughout the year that just give us that recovery on one side. So you're not constantly, if we're constantly training for powerlifting, we're going to have a lot of people with bad backs. If we're constantly training for running, we're going to have people with shin splints, knee injuries. But the way that we cycle it, you can recover from other things, other injuries, and just keep working. You know what I mean? Like, I love that stuff.
Yeah, keeps your body on its toes a little bit. Like you never really know what's coming next, which is awesome. And it's not just endurance this fall. I mean, we're really going to start getting into these ripped workouts, which is cool because you have very different goals from me and a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't get to do the cool stuff this fall. Lauren's doing it. She's hogging it all. So, I mean, I've hogged the first half of the year training for that competition. And so now it's her turn. And so I'm going to be really getting into the functional bodybuilding, rep stuff. We've got some new equipment. And we're excited to find new ways to implement it, Yeah. You're going to see some wild movements, like the one I was showing you yesterday.
He did it completely wrong at first. He had his feet in the rings.
Yeah, my feet in the rings. And it turns out it was supposed to be your hands on the rings.
Who would have thought?
So, hey, 50-50 chance.
Yeah.
So, we're going to get your feet in the rings a lot, get you upside down. No, we're not going to be doing that. But if you want to just get really ripped this summer, and you're not necessarily doing triathlons and marathons and stuff like that, even if you are, I mean, you might as well look ripped while you do them too. Then I'm going to be spending a lot of time on that. I think I'm going to do a little program for probably like 30 days in August where we'll do a little bit of the nutrition side, not necessarily an Ox 100, but more like just like a 30-day biceps, booty, belly. I'm trying to come up with a good name for it.
Yeah. So toned up?
BBL.
Ripped?
Yeah.
BBL.
BBB.
BBB.
The BBB program. The Brazilian bicep and booty belly program. I don't know why it's Brazilian. British. Because they're known for... The British bicep, booty, and belly. BBBBB. All right, the BBBB. The B times 4 program. Coming to see... Yeah, there's no name for it. Just come and get ripped with me. But yeah, it'd be fun. Mm-hmm. Try some of that stuff. We got some cool equipment.
Oh yeah, we've got this guy.
Yeah.
Bar bomb.
Hold it this way.
Which way? Oh, there you go.
What is this?
I don't know.
Savannah said we need to get these.
Well, we've got
I said, all right. We got one for everybody.
No, it'll be cool. Different way to use the barbell. Barbell goes in.
Oh, a barbell goes in it.
Bar bomb.
Okay.
Barbell goes inside. You do some different movements with it. I mean, what most common is probably just like landmine.
There's so many landmine movements,
yeah.
though.
I mean, there's a landmine everything. There's a press, a pull, a thrust. I don't know. There's all kinds of stuff. Get creative with that. We've got some handles for the bands.
That's cool.
Which is going to be really nice.
Yeah.
Kind of simulate some of the more traditional like machines you might find in a Globo gym, which is always fun to incorporate. And then what else came in that box? Yeah,
we're just going to have a functional base to all these movements, right? So you're not just standing doing bicep curls, you know, like there's other ways to get ripped, and we're going to be exploring them ways just to make them more fun. Mm-hmm. And then just so, you aesthetically can look good for the summer.
And it's so cool because it's just been so much fun to program all these different types of workouts, but I've never been to or seen a gym that you can go to and get ready for triathlons and marathons and at the same time get to bodybuild and get to strength train. And we have all these components that we're exposing our athletes to and not just putting ourselves in a box, which I think is awesome. Right.
Yeah. We're experimenting with stuff. And when we like something and it works, we double down on it and we keep it and we like push it. And when we see people responding to certain things, we're like, okay, that works. Let's get more of that. Yeah. When we see people not responding to things, we're not like romantic about, oh, keep that because we want to do it. No. If people don't like it, let's get rid of it.
Right.
You know, like all our events and everything that we're building towards, we want it to be a place where you're excited for what we're training for, what events are coming up. And that's why we try so many different things, you know? Like say if the DEKA thing, nobody likes it, we won't do it again. Mm-hmm. But we're going to try and we're going to see because we think it is something that we're going to enjoy. Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just exciting. We're in such an exciting place 6 months into the year. And it feels like more things ahead than we have behind us, which is not usually the way it looks, right? You're like, oh, we're done with everything. And for me, I could see it like that, but I'm like, no, let's add some. If my goals are not there, what they usually are, which I've done for the last few years, which is some kind of wild endurance shit, let me focus on some other things that I can do and add value to the gym and to the members and help them out and look ripped.
Yeah. Something for everyone in this season of OxFit.
Yeah.
As always, but especially now. Mm-hmm. And if you think you've seen videos, you think you know what OxFit is about, it's always changing and getting better every day. So
yeah, we're never staying still. Mm-mm. We're always looking for what's next and what's better.
Definitely.
And there's some things that I don't know, like this Gulf Shores triathlon, I think it gets better than that. Mm-mm. I don't think I can find a better triathlon. The location, the time of year, the vibe of the area, bulls on the beach. We can get a badass beach house. Like, I don't see a better triathlon than that. So, like, if anybody does, anyone thinks we can level that one up, good luck. Help us out.
Yeah, it's easy to get to. I don't think that's going anywhere.
I don't think that's a staple, right? Like, that's just something we do every year.
Yeah.
I'm never running a marathon again, I don't think. I've done Chicago and New York.
Yeah.
Doesn't get any better than that.
Right.
If somehow I got into London, that would be the only other one I would do, just because you can't say no to something like that, but I don't want to do any others. Think this will be your last marathon?
Yeah, I'm excited for New York. I think it'll be a fun challenge. From what I've heard, it's a little bit more challenging than Chicago.
Definitely. Bridges. I didn't know bridges were uphill. Did you?
I mean, no, not
No.
really.
No, you don't think of that, do you?
No. And you don't realize how long they are.
I didn't know a bridge was 2 miles long.
That's stupid.
When we ran that, so you start on the bridge.
Mm-hmm.
When we got to the end of the bridge, we were at mile 2. And you know how hot some people went out of that first mile, 2 miles? They were like, and we were just like, I was cruising up to the top of the hill. And there's nobody allowed on the bridge to support. So it's silent and you just hear people's footsteps and people breathing and running.
That's terrible.
Yeah. The bridges are the rough spot.
Oof.
But then when you get off the bridge, I think we did 6.
Because that's what I liked about Chicago, because that's what I used to like check as I went. I was like, 3 more bridges, 2 more bridges.
Sure.
Or
Yeah.
So I think that's how I'm going to think about New York.
That is a good way to do it.
Just count the bridges.
Yeah. But the bridges the bridges in Chicago, you can see the other side.
It's just like a little, it's like a little fairy tale.
Yeah. Whereas the bridges in New York are 2 miles long. So yeah, it's a different kind of bridge.
Yeah, but it'll be fun. We've got a badass group of ladies going.
You know when I did New York, it was 75 degrees.
That's terrible.
I wore pants. Big mistake.
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
You can't really not wear pants. I don't know. Well, maybe you can. I can't not wear pants.
Oh, really?
Yeah. My thighs be ripped to shreds.
Especially now.
Yeah.
But you might be really skinny by then.
Doubt it.
No, it still doesn't fit your long-term goals, does it?
No.
You don't want to become a runner. You work too hard to get the bit of muscle you got now. You can't blow it.
I never knew I was a person that couldn't put on muscle easily until this past year. And man, I'm just going to hang on to anything I have for dear life.
Yeah.
Don't want to lose any of that.
I knew I couldn't put on muscle easy because I've been training for 20 fucking years and still don't put on muscle. Mm-hmm. And then my wife looks at a barbell, just looks at it, just peeks at it like that. Boom. Shoulders, triceps. And I'm just like, well, hopefully Leo gets that. That's the only, like when I'm just like looking at her and I'm disappointed that I don't get that kind of muscle, I just go, well, hopefully Leo will get it.
Yeah.
Or Mia will get it. And they'll just be
blessed.
Jacked. They grow up in a gym and they have that muscle.
Crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't imagine. And Leo's got a 6-pack now. So he's definitely got his mom's muscle. I mean, he looks like his mom, doesn't he? So thank God. But yeah, he's going to be jacked. Growing up here and then having that, the way Lauren just looks at a weight and just...
jealous.
Yeah. I think that's something that Lauren's going to be doing in the next few months too is like a mom's specific program. Mm-hmm. Like I don't know how long it's going to be, but just getting a group of moms that maybe want to do the triathlon or want to do something longer or are training for a specific goal. Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, her recovery over the last year from giving birth, would you call it recovery? I guess, right? Her recovery from giving birth has been amazing. She got a muscle up the other day. She's training for this triathlon. So it's really exciting that I think she's a great role model for people that want to bounce back or haven't quite bounced back from, because I know how hard it is. Yeah. We own a fucking gym. So, of course, she has access whenever she wants. Like, she doesn't train on a regular schedule with the kids, you know what I mean? Like some days she's in here at 1, some days she's in here at 5, some days she's in here at 9, like it's all over the place. So we get it. So her having a way to hold people accountable that want to bounce back from that.
And she's so good at being patient too, like listening to her body. Yeah. She doesn't rush anything.
I think she learned that the hard way the first time. Okay. I think she rushed back a little too soon and then had some issues with diastasis, is that the name for it? Yeah. So the second time around, she like took it slow and did a lot of glute bridges and movements on the ground to get that core stability back before she jumped up and started doing toes to bar and stuff like that. Yeah. Like I had to push her to go for that first muscle up, you know? She was like, I don't know if I'm ready. And she got it. So yeah, some cool stuff coming up. A lot of endurance stuff, a lot of bodybuilding, functional bodybuilding stuff on my side, some mom stuff. The teens and kids is rocking and rolling. We're so excited about the kids and teen stuff. I think it'll be the best thing we ever do. Yeah. So yeah, with the functional bodybuilding stuff, I talked about protein last time, and I just want to cover something on creatine this time. So I take a supplement called KRE-ALKALYN.
Okay.
And so it's pH balanced or buffered creatine.
Okay.
So regular creatine, usually you have to go through a loading phase because it's not very soluble. Like you have to drink a lot of water when you're on creatine. But this KRE-ALKALYN is, because it's buffered, because it's pH balanced, it gets into your muscles a lot easier and it's a lot more bioavailable. So like 90% compared to, I think 30% with the regular creatine. Mm-hmm. And so it's just more available. You're able to use it. You don't have to load up on it. So you just start taking it and you feel the effects of it right away. And just in terms of more endurance in the gym, you feel a little bit more explosive, more powerful, and then your strength and your muscle gains are just a little bit quicker. Mm-hmm. So it's been studied more than any supplement out there. It's been around for like 20 years. Mm-hmm. And so I would say if you have strength and fitness goals, I would recommend taking creatine with your protein. It's one of out of the top 2 supplements, protein, then creatine, I would say they're the 2 that you should be taking if you're coming to OxFit. And I would say try a KRE-ALKALYN, see if it helps. If you want to try a regular creatine, go for it. But I enjoy not having to load up. And, I don't drink that much water. So it helps that you don't have to be down on a lot of water. You don't get that water retention with the KRE-ALKALYN. Yeah. And, it's really hard to get your essential amino acids. 3 of them are in this creatine. Mm-hmm. You have to eat a lot of red meat and you have to eat a lot of fatty fish to get enough creatine. So give it a try. KRE-ALKALYN. I take the True Athlete one, like with the protein, and it's just NSF certified. There's no bullshit in it.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah, give that a try, especially during this phase where we're doing a lot more of the ripped workouts.
Those muscles pop.
Yeah. Why not make it easier on yourself? Mm-hmm. If it gets you there quicker and it's a natural thing that you already need,
right?
Add it on in.
Oh, yeah.
What else you got? What are we closing with?
I mean, we've got a lot of cool shit coming up. I think people should take a beat to just maybe reflect on the first 6 months of the year. And if you
haven't done shit.
Right. If you haven't challenged yourself, if you haven't done something hard or out of your comfort zone.
Yeah, like we talked about last week.
Yeah. We got a lot of cool stuff coming up. And
honestly, if you don't want to necessarily do it, but you want to do the training or you want to come for the trip or you want to just be around, come and do that.
Yeah.
And if you're like an elite athlete or somebody that's a competitor, you've never done a triathlon or something like that, what are you doing? Give it a try. Mm-hmm. What could go wrong? Right. You're only going to get better. Give it a shot.
Yeah. You're never going to be worse off because you challenged yourself or tried something new.
Yeah.
And whether that's an event, coming to more classes every week at the gym, doing Ox 100, which we're doing every month now. I mean, the opportunities are endless to find what your challenge is going to be. So no matter what it is, I think people should just find something and say, that's going to be my challenge for the next 3-6 months.
6 months into the year.
Yeah.
It's if you haven't done something cool, if you haven't joined in on something that we're doing, it's time. Mm-hmm. Don't let another 6 months go by.
No.
And you're like, I need to set a goal.
You don't need to wait. Do it right now.
Let's go. We got so much stuff coming up. Let's go. Get involved. Or if you've got a goal that we haven't talked about, tell us. We might find 5 other people want to do it with you.
Yeah.
Why do it on your own? Doing it on your own sucks. Doing it with a bunch of people that are excited about it, let's do it.
We've got badass people in this gym that are capable of, I think, a lot more than they might give themselves credit for. So
awesome.
Let's go.
Go get it. OxFit Nation, we're out.